Hello everybody, it's Connor from Cinity Gaming and welcome to CGN for Sunday the 21st of June 2015. And sadly Pete's not with us today, he's doing something for Father's Day, so yeah, he's not going to be here today, and well, he might not be here next week either, he said, so I must apologise on his behalf for that. Anyway, this is a bit of a different CGN today because obviously E3 was last week, so I'm going to give you some of the information about what's happened at E3, some of the news that's been announced, some of the games announced, and yeah, there's going to be no normal news today, unfortunately, mainly because E3 was the biggest thing last week. So yeah, the game releases though for this week. First of all, we've got on Tuesday the 23rd of June, Batman Arkham Knight. I know Pete cannot wait to get his hands on that because he loves Batman Arkham games. So yeah, he can't wait for that. That's coming out on the Xbox One, PS4 and PC. We've got Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition, also coming out on the Xbox One, PS4 and PC. And Tales from Borderlands Episode 3 Catch a Ride, coming out on the Xbox One, PS4, 360, PS3 and PC. Also on Tuesday we've got PlanetSide 2 coming out on the PS4. Wednesday the 24th, we've got MotoGP 15 coming out on the Xbox One, PS4, Xbox 360, PS3 and PC. I don't know why, but these MotoGP games always seem to get BBFC to give them an age rating. I'm not sure why, because I'm pretty sure Peggy's supposed to do that in the UK now, but yeah, it only seems to be MotoGP that still gets BBFC ones. Really interested to know why that is. If anybody knows, well, put it in the comments because I ain't got a clue. Anyway, moving on, apart from talking about age ratings and stuff. Thursday the 25th, we've got Art Academy Home Studio coming out on the Wii U. That sounds fun. And Friday the 26th, we've got, what on earth is this? Tukadun Kiwami, I'm going to call it. That's coming out on the PC. Yeah, sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I haven't got a clue how to pronounce that. Anyway, that's it for the game releases this week. There's not that many. But obviously, moving on to the E3 stuff now, because E3 was definitely the highlight of the last week. As I'm sure many of you are aware, I'm sure many of you watched the press conferences, watched other YouTubers' coverage on things going on at E3. So, yeah, just going to give you a quick summary of the games that were announced at E3. So, we've got, I'm going to just go through all the press conferences that there were. So, there was Bethesda, Microsoft, EA, Ubisoft, Sony, Nintendo and Square Enix. So they're the ones I'm going to go through and just pretty much say the games that they've announced, which will be coming out, well, hopefully fairly soon. Some of them we'll have to wait a little bit longer for, but hey ho, not a lot we can do about it. Anyway, the game announcements for Bethesda. We got Fallout Shelter, which is an Android and iOS version of obviously their Fallout series. We've got Dishonored Definitive Edition coming out on the Xbox One, PS4, Xbox 360, PS3 and PC. We've also got Dishonored 2, that's for the Xbox One, PS4 and PC. And the Elder Scrolls Legends, that's for PC and iOS. I believe the Elder Scrolls Legends is like a card game. So yeah, that'll be quite fun, I think. A bit different to normal Elder Scrolls, but I'm not a huge Elder Scrolls fan, so I probably won't get that. Anyway, moving on to Microsoft, I'm going to talk a bit more about some of the stuff Microsoft said in their press conference in a moment. But the games that they announced, just before you go wondering, oh, why have they announced PS4 games? Some of these were not exactly Microsoft announcing them. They had like the chief operating officer, I think it is, of EA that came in and announced a few games. So these are just the ones that were announced at these press conferences, not necessarily by Microsoft, but yeah, for example, like Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare 2 was announced by some guy from EA. I think he was the chief operating officer or something. But anyway, we've got Recall, that's for the Xbox One, as I just mentioned. Plant vs Zombies Garden Warfare 2, that's for the Xbox One, PS4 and PC. Dark Souls 3, that's for the Xbox One, PS4 and PC. Ashen, that's for the Xbox One. I think from Ashen to Sea of Thieves, I think they're all indie games. So if you're wondering why there's quite a few, they did show off quite a lot of indie games and Idea Xbox development games that are coming out. So yeah, Ashen for Xbox One, Beyond Eyes for Xbox One, PC, Mac and Linux, Ion for Xbox One and PC, Rare Replay, that's for the Xbox One, Sea of Thieves, that's Xbox One and PC. I think that's the end of the indie ones. I could be wrong. I can't remember off the top of my head. I do apologise if Sea of Thieves or Rare Replay or whatever aren't indie. And obviously Gears of War Ultimate Edition, that's definitely not indie. That's for the Xbox One only. Moving on to EA, we've got Mass Effect 4, also known as Mass Effect Andromeda. That's for the Xbox One, PS4 and PC. We've got Star Wars, The Old Republic, Knights of the Fallen Empire. I wasn't too sure actually on what platforms this was coming out on. I suspect it's the same as Battlefront, but I'm not 100% sure. I couldn't see or remember what they said at the press conference. Unravel, I think that's like that sort of small indie game with that little yarn toy that the guy from the development company came in and brought in. It was quite a nice story he told. So yeah, that's Unravel for the Xbox One, PS4 and PC. NBA Live 16, that's pretty much coming out on everything. Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, again, same as the the Old Republic, not One Republic, that's a band. The Old Republic, I'm not 100% sure on what consoles that's coming out on, but I guess it's probably going to be the same or similar to Battlefronts. And Minions Paradise is coming out for Android and iOS. That looks a pretty good game. It's a game based around the Minions from Despicable Me, and obviously the Minions film that's coming out soon. Moving on to Ubisoft. First one, that's a great looking game. South Park: The Fractured But Whole. That's a sequel to The Stick of Truth that came out 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago? I can't remember. It was either 2014 or 2013 it came out. Anyway, The Fractured But Whole, Xbox One, PS4 and PC. We've got For Honor, that's for the Xbox One, PS4 and PC also. They're making a sequel to The Crew, so The Crew Wild Run. Again, that's the Xbox One, PS4 and PC. Anno 2205, that's like a city builder, futuristic city builder game that's similar to SimCity. That's coming out on PC. At first I thought the game was called Anno and it was coming out in 2205, so I thought, well, we've got a long wait for that, but then I realised it was actually part of the title, so yeah, bit silly me. Anyway, Just Dance 2016, that is coming out for the Xbox One, PS4, Xbox 360, PS3 and Wii U. Trackmania Turbo, which again I'm not 100% sure on what platforms that's coming out on, and Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands, again I couldn't exactly see what platforms that were coming out on, but yeah, that's pretty much the Ubisoft ones. Sony, we've got Horizon Zero Dawn for the PS4, Hitman, that's on the Xbox One, PS4 and PC. Dreams, that's for PS4. The Taken King, PS4. Final Fantasy 7, I think that is. Yeah, 7 remake. That's also only for PS4. Shenmue 3, that's for the PS4 and PC. If I remember rightly, I don't think that game, Shenmue 3, is coming out until nearly 2018. I think it's coming out, it might be the end of December 2017 or December 2017. So, yeah, it's quite a while to wait if you're looking forward to that game. Nintendo, they announced quite a few. So we got Star Fox Zero, that's for the Wii U. Just to let you know, all of these are Nintendo exclusives as well. The Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes, that's for the 3DS. Hyrule Warriors Legends, that's also for the 3DS. Metroid Prime Federation Forward, also for 3DS. Fire Emblem Fates, also for 3DS. I do not know how you say this one. Jenny Ibn Roku X Fee, also for the Wii U. Apologies, I've probably pronounced that wrong. Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, also for the Wii U. Mario and Luigi Paper Jam for the 3DS, and Mario Tennis Ultra Smash for the Wii U. Nintendo did have a lot of games at their press conference, so apologies if I've missed any. I think I got most, if not all of them, though. Square Enix is last but not least. Nier New Project, that's for the PS4, and I couldn't find the platforms for these. Lara Croft Go and Kingdom Hearts Unchained, I'm going to guess that's 10. But yeah, that's most, if not all, of the games that were announced at this year's E3. So yeah, there's quite a lot actually. There were a few games actually that people were expecting to be at E3 that weren't. I think a second Titanfall game, or Titanfall 2, was expected at EA's press conference. However, nothing was mentioned about Titanfall 2, and I also believe it wasn't featured at E3 at all. So maybe they're saving that for next year, or maybe it's just not going to happen. But we don't know. Apparently there's also a sort of Minecraft story game coming out as well. I believe that was supposed to be, or was expected to be at E3, but it wasn't. But yeah, on to some of the news though that came out of E3. Obviously, I think everybody will know that the biggest news from E3 this year is the backwards compatibility for the Xbox One, which I am very happy about, because it means I don't have to keep changing HDMI cables then when they get all my games on the Xbox One, because yeah, I've got one HDMI cable which is about 10 meters long, because my Xbox is literally a mile away from my TV. So yeah, I've got one quite long HDMI cable that I have to share between both consoles. So being able to just use Xbox One would be helpful. But I do like my 360. Anyway, more onto this though. So basically, Phil Spencer, who's the head of Xbox, announced this will be coming to Xbox One later on in the year. I think it's going to be around November time. It's released to the general public. It's available at the moment for preview member programs. Preview program members. God, I'm turning into Pete now. Yeah, so preview program members can have access to 20 games at the moment. There's a few games. I mean, some of them's like Hexic HD, Mass Effect. They're the only ones I can remember off the top of my head. Oh, World of Keflings. So they're the only ones I can remember off the top of my head. I am in the preview program. I've tried out Hexic. It's pretty good actually. And the way it works is it sort of emulates your Xbox 360. So I downloaded Hexic onto my Xbox One, tried it out, and it basically just loads it like a 360 does. You've got the Xbox 360 guide. It's basically like an Xbox 360 system in your Xbox One, which I think is quite nice actually. And I believe when you're playing like Hexic HD, for example, or Mass Effect, you can play games and join parties with people on their 360, which is nice. And also I noticed on Xbox.com it shows up as you playing on your 360, even though you're not. But anyway, more to the point, so backwards compatibility is coming out to the public in November, and I believe by then they will have a few more, probably loads more games available then. But I think they want to try and get every game on it, but that might take a while if they do. Anyway, I think I've said enough about the backwards compatibility, and the next one is obviously the Microsoft announcing the new Elite gaming controller. A lot of these are Microsoft ones, because I think they pretty much announced the most news, or like the biggest news. So they announced the new Elite gaming controller for the Xbox One, and I believe PC as well, which is basically the Xbox One controller, but it's got like reconfigurable buttons. You can also swap like thumbsticks and buttons and stuff. You can swap them with cool new looking ones. There's trigger locks and everything, paddles on the back, so it's quite nice. It'll be definitely good, I think, for racing games, especially if you've got like the paddles on the back. If you make you think like you got a flappy paddle gearbox or something, that'd be pretty cool. Also, another pretty big thing is Microsoft was showing off Minecraft on HoloLens. So HoloLens, if you don't know what that is, it's sort of virtual reality glasses. And basically, Minecraft is one of the things set to come out on these glasses, and it basically means you can sort of turn your dining room table into a Minecraft world and interact with it and do all sorts of stuff, which looks really cool. I have to admit that does look really good. If you haven't seen that, I highly recommend just checking out Microsoft press conference for that, because it does look really good. And another bit of news that's slightly upset me a bit. Call of Duty Black Ops 3 is going to be a timed exclusive on PlayStation. So if you did watch Microsoft's press conference, you will have noticed or may have noticed that Call of Duty didn't make an appearance in it for the first time in years. And that is unfortunately because Sony now have the timed exclusive rights for it on PlayStation. So what that basically means is that DLC will come out first on PlayStation, and also I believe they're moving all the competitive like games and that over to PlayStation as well. In an ideal world, we wouldn't have any timed exclusives, especially with games such as Call of Duty that's so big. I mean, Black Ops 3 I'm really looking forward to because me and Pete love zombies. And yeah, this is a bit of bad news for Xbox players. To be fair, I don't really think we should have these timed exclusives. It's not really fair. And I mean, a lot of people went out and bought Xbox Ones for like the timed exclusives on Ghost and Advanced Warfare, and now they've gone and changed it. So if that's the reason why you bought an Xbox One, you're gonna have to go out and buy a PS4 now, unfortunately. Or it could be fortunately, depending on what you think, if you like it. But yeah, a bit of bad news really, especially now me and Pete's gonna have to wait a month for the DLC. But nonetheless, I mean, Black Ops 2 and that, we had them before Sony on the PlayStation. But me and Pete weren't one of those people that goes around bragging like, oh, we got the new map pack already, you got to wait till next month for it. No, I always usually tend to feel sorry for everybody on Sony. It's just like, oh, we've got that already, they've got to wait a month. So yeah, that's a bit of bad news for us Xbox players that are looking forward to Black Ops 3. But unfortunately, there's not a lot we can do about it now. Sony announced it at their press conference, and it has been confirmed by Activision on the Call of Duty website. So yeah, sadly, nothing we can do about that now. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this week's CGN. I'd highly recommend going and checking out all the press conferences. I've seen most of them. But yeah, they're all pretty good. Microsoft's was my favourite, mainly because some of the games, and also like them announcing backwards compatibility, and obviously not forgetting Minecraft on HoloLens, which looks amazing. But yeah, all the others are just as good, so go and check those out. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Pete might do. Don't know if he's going to be here though, so I'll apologise on his behalf in case he isn't. So yeah, thank you for watching, and see you next week. Bye bye.